What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascent. I have VRA Veracity up on the screen here, the one-day price chart. Last time we checked in was on July 2nd. I said, guys, yesterday marked the bottom. We got a prime setup. Well, whatever the hell happened back here on July 22nd, technically we set a new low. This looks a liquid to me. I'll take the loss on that, but I don't know. That kind of feels like BS. Anyway, we bounced. Here we are up a little bit higher. We're going to dig into waves 3, 4, and 5 today. And guys, I'm going to caution you. If you're doing TA on Veracity, you need to be paying attention to the market cap. You cannot be doing the price chart. There's inflation. I don't own the project. I just know there's something going on with the tokenomics where there's inflationary pressure, tokens being unlocked, whatever it is. Price movement isn't normal. So I have an Altseason video out on this that goes into deeper detail. You can go check that out. I do this kind of stuff all the time on my channel over at the Quantum Circle, real-time trades. We go into the macro so that you guys can understand this stuff a little bit better. So now let's dig into waves 3, 4, and 5 for Veracity. But like I said, our total target up here is at 3 cents, and we got that using the market cap. Can't be using the price chart. So go check that out. We did drop in here on this low, on this whole drawdown into the back into this contracting triangle, which from a technical perspective makes sense. I mean, makes sense, but it was a massive knockback. But anyway, like I said, we're looking how are we going to get wave 5 up here based on this. So use the market cap for the final target because over the course of the life, there's going to be more inflation over a longer period of time. In these next couple months we're talking about here, there's less just during that amount of time. So we're just going to use the price chart to make it easy on ourselves. First things first, what we're going to look at is this drawdown from the first wave to the second wave. And so what I noticed is a full 4236 extension of this wave gets me right back out here to this price area, right? Again, not the same as a market cap chart, but pretty close. So I'm looking at that, and from a technical perspective, that would make sense for us to get somewhere up in this area between one of these two highs, and we should be taking that out. We're already seeing it on some other alts right now that they're taking these highs out back from December. So not a ton, but it is starting to happen. Veracity's just been in a drawdown for a long time. So I am going to be looking for this macro wave 3 to make its way up here. This is a very small cap coin. So what I'll say is, actually, the more I'm looking at this, man, that feels like, no, all right, we'll leave it there for now. That was just a tough drawdown when it was essentially a double bottom down here, but we'll leave it there for now. We'll get into the TA here. So typically in this wave 4 drawdown, you're looking at anywhere between like 35 and 50% for alts, and that's really depending on the size of the project. Now Veracity, this breaks all of my rules. When I first started charting it, I thought it was set 100 million and it said 10 million. So this is so small. So take all of this TA with a grain of salt, because if for some reason people start deciding to dump hundreds of millions into this, obviously it's going to go insane. So we're going to do what we can with the data we have. So all that to say this fourth wave drawdown probably going to be closer to that 50% range. And if I do this here, back down to the 1618, that's at about 57%, brings us down into this cluster over here. So you see that there's been a bunch of price action getting, stopped out or hanging out in that area. It could even extend all the way down here, right? I mean, look at that wave 2 drawdown, and that would be a 70% drawdown after a massive rise, because if we were to make it up there right now, guys, I think we're looking at like a 10x on this wave. Yeah, that just, I mean, again, it's a small cap coin, so that would only bring the market cap up to 150 million. So not that crazy, but could have a pretty big drawdown. We'll say the drawdown rate here. So we're looking at like 1.5 cents back down to 0.006 cents, and then that final wave up to the 3 cent level. And I mean, again, that sounds pretty gnarly from here. What are we looking at? 18x from here, but there's other things that have that potential. And that total wave 5 distance would be 380% or a 4.8x. This first wave here was 353%. So that would put waves 1 and 5 at similar length, wave 3 being the longest, Pretty normal for a 5-wave structure up to the top. Brings us to 3 cents. And again, more dependent on the market cap, not diving into that now. But if you just look at price action, it makes complete sense that we come back down to test this breakout level, right? We hung up here, we dropped, back tested, boom. That was the final moment before things really started to fall apart. So it would make technical sense for us to make it back up to that level. You see how we get there using fibs and different price structures. And again, like I said, we do a lot more with the market cap on here. So go check that video out. It's a few months old, but should tell you all you need to know from a conceptual standpoint. But what I will say is I do expect VRA to keep moving. We have some nice volume off the floor here. I mean, what was that day? On Sunday? 42%. Holy hell. So there you go. Like, this thing could be up here in a matter of days, right? We just got to wait and see. It was alive in an alt season before, and it ripped. This right here. You'd be looking at, I mean, if you had something like that from the low, 13,000%. Yep, again, why you have to use the market cap chart, but that still only gets you out to 12 cents. 50% from that high. But now I'm just doing a bunch of math. Point being is we're looking at this thing, 1.5 cents, also a nice round number, 1.5 cents there. Back test, 0.06 cents, right off into glory at 3 cents, and then it's all over, guys. So that's what I got for you on VRA. Like I mentioned, check out the Quantum Circle. Link to that is in my bio. Teaching people how to do TA. We're just bouncing a lot of ideas off each other, talking about targets. So having a lot of fun over there. If not, just happy you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost. Been doing TA a long time. Just want to help as many of you as I can. So hope you guys have a great Monday. I'll talk to you later.